This is a really hard one to talk about. I was very overwhelmed. Kingdom Hearts is an overwhelming series for a lot of people. Like the review copy showed up on my desk and I said, okay, here we go. We got to make videos about it. Where do I start? And for context, with Kingdom Hearts, I was obsessed with the first game. When it dropped, it was like the right time. I remember really digging it. Andrew Gebbia and I played it. He had the poster in his room. Really enjoyed it, but that was about it for me. I mean, by the time the second game came out, I had moved on to other things. I had dabbled in it, but never finished it or anything like that. And now, many years later, now we have Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm jumping in, and I'm talking about it, and I have, I guess, a weird perspective. I can't be the only person, right? Like, I'm trying to think, like, there's gotta be some of you guys out there who haven't played every single Kingdom Hearts game, right? Sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. But even still, like, jumping into this game, it's fun. Like, you can't help but, like, share in the joy of, like, seeing all these other people that are diehard Kingdom Hearts fans that are so excited to finally be getting a new mainline game. You can't help but, like, feel some of that, you know, When I went into this, I was wondering, like, oh, since I'm making videos for it for Game Ranks and, like, it's my job, would I have tried the game otherwise? And now I'm starting to think, after playing it for a while, I think I would have. And honestly, I'm glad I did. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is, like, a really good time. It's really fun. I put some time into it. And I was, you know, confused and playing through it, and it was fine. But then it really started to click once I started really bouncing around to other worlds. By the time I got to the Toy Story world, I was blown away. I was like, holy shit, I get it now. This stuff is fucking cool. It's a good time, really. That's what Kingdom Hearts is, I think, for me, at least this one. It's just good old-fashioned video game fun, because the combat is crazy, ridiculous, over the top. The story is obviously very convoluted and in-depth. But for me, I was fueled as someone who, even though I didn't really get everything with the story, I was fueled by trying to get to the next level, trying to see the next area, see what happens next, just because it's so exciting to come across, you know, Johnny Depp in Pirate World, even though it's not technically Johnny Depp, Tangled, Frozen, Big Hero 6, like all that stuff, to me, getting to that journey was so much damn fun. And to be honest, too, the story ain't that bad. You know, there's a lot of parts where I was laughing at it because I'm like, holy shit, this stuff is so deep. This is so over my head, man. But on the flip side, it's doable. I was able to text someone I know who knows way more about it than me. I was able to look up some Wikipedia listings. Anytime a character popped up, I'm like, okay, who's that? Okay, I look him up. Okay, bad guy. Wow, there's a lot of backstory about him. Whatever, bad guy, got it. So really, it has been pretty easy to follow. This is really, for me, like, this video is more of like a diary than like a review or anything critical, because I just really wanted to try and catalog and voice my thoughts on it. You know, I did the before you buy video, but those are really first impressions videos, and now me going even deeper into it, I am just very pleased with how fun it is. Plus, too, the fact that every world has like a little bit of like a gimmick to it. I don't want to say a gimmick, but like every world has like a new little spin, all these different playable things, that it makes the game have a surprising amount of variety. A lot of variety here. They give you a lot of shit. I wish there were like more RPG elements in the character building, but the fact that like you have cooking and mini games and all the gummy ship stuff, and then all the weird things to do in between every single world, damn, I don't know. I think it's really impressive the amount of stuff they can cram into the game. Obviously, on the Disney side, it's crazy, man. Like, you look at the stuff they do, the stuff that Disney lets Square Enix do, in terms of making Mickey this important character with a cool hooded sweatshirt, to having all these Disney characters and all these different Disney properties mix all of this stuff, and to have that all and to let them do it is insane, especially considering, you know, how Disney is so on top of their properties and they manage them very specifically and very tightly. And then you have something like this Kingdom Hearts game, and the all other previous games, like 11, 12, it depends on how many you count. I think that in and of itself is a miracle to witness. It was awesome back in the original Kingdom Hearts days, but now, still after everything, after so many mergers, and after Disney has become even more of a powerhouse, and Square Enix has now even more of a video game powerhouse, to see that happen, to see that actually come together, with the amount of other things in media we've seen fall apart, I think this makes for like a really impressive thing in media, something really unprecedented, something like we haven't seen before. Because if you do, like I explained it to my wife, Amanda, just like what Kingdom Hearts is and how it came together and what it is, where it's essentially Final Fantasy sort of mixed with a bunch of Disney properties deeply. And she was like, how did that happen? And I was like, exactly. So that in and of itself right there, I think is freaking huge, man. But again, like I said, it can actually be fun. When you go to Toy Story World and you hear the new spin on Randy Newman's "You Got a Friend in Me," and you're running around Andy's room, and then you're jumping out the window, and you're running around with Woody and Buzz with voice actors that do a pretty good job of impersonating the real actors, it just lets you get into it. The visuals too, man, like the way they really change it up for every place you go is so impressive, especially if you got TV with good colors, because it's a very colorful game. It's just all absolute insanity. The fact that the summons are basically Disney rides, like you can summon Big Thunder Mountain or the teacups or the swinging pirate ship ride, but the fact that they all become these playable minigame summons where each one has their own couple of things you can do with them, that's really impressive right there. Because otherwise, like at first, like at base level, it is like kind of a simple combat system, but then all of a sudden it becomes insanely complicated. The fact that like you can use Goofy as like a Captain America shield launch, and Donald Duck's there and he's an asshole, but now you can have two other party members, so like you can have like a Woody and a Buzz instead of just like one of them. You really get all of that satisfaction and the amount of like chaos that is on screen, and the fact that the game doesn't collapse while it does it is pretty awesome. I do think, on the other hand, it is pretty silly for something as big as this, a deal as big as this, a Disney game thing, to squander the potential by really not doing a great job of making it accessible in terms of story and stuff like that. The game does give you like a thing on the main menu to catch up, but I still think like YouTube videos and stuff have done a better job for me, and just talking to friends. It is really weird that something as big as this, they're not doing much to get new people in. But on the flip side, you can also commend them for that, because I guess that shows the testament and the strength of the fan base. A lot of you guys out there who are probably watching and probably yelling at me in the comments, in all seriousness, I'm pumped that you have this game, and I get it. I really get why you like it. I'm not even like a die-hard Disney fan. I actually think I might like Square and Square Enix JRPGs and like Final Fantasy and stuff more than I do some Disney stuff. But at the end of the day, I think this game has a lot for a lot of people, and I get it. I wish I was understanding more. I think there's a whole nother conversation. We can have a whole nother video about that. Meaning, like, you know, if a game like is story-based and you can't understand half of the story, does that impact your enjoyment of the game? Does that impact the value of the game? I'd say in some instances, no. I mean, just because I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is so fun, like raw fun factor on its own. I'm okay with kind of just like hanging on by a thread with the story, but that's just me. So that's it, really. A part of me, you know, coming into Kingdom Hearts 3, I kind of just wanted to dunk on it because I didn't understand it. But instead, took a step back, tried to understand it, and now I like half understand it, and it's really cool. That's the gist of it. That's my thoughts on Kingdom Hearts. A lot of you guys have asked out there, some of you guys out there in the Discord, discord.gg/BecauseVideoGames. That's like the Discord that we have that's like half for these videos, half for the podcast Andrew and I run. Check that out if you haven't, because that is a good time. We do that every week. That's kind of where I've been. That's where I've been building stuff up. But really, I think I got a big mix of you guys out there, so I do want to hear from you in the comments, like, what's your history with Kingdom Hearts? Do you not get it? Have you played every single one? You know everything. I really want to know your perspective so far. If you're playing through it, does it satisfy your expectations? Does it complete the lore, or at least conclude this avenue of the story in a way you would want? Do you think it goes too far Disney and not enough anime and RPG or JRPG? Let's talk about this, because I've seen a lot of interesting conversations there, and I want to have them with you guys. Other than that, though, I'm going to go. There's a lot more to play, so I will see you guys in the next one. As always, thank you for watching. Clicking the like button helps. Showing your friends or whatever helps. Talking to me keeps me alive. But as always, I'm Jake Baldino. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe because video games.